It's better at Burke. Better care, better service, better price.
Hey there, South Jersey. I'm Pete Thompson with the Cape May County Herald, and this is Under Review. Under Review brought to you by the Burke Motor Group. It's better at Burke. We are coming to you with a special Thursday edition of Under Review because, quite frankly, we had just too many highlights and scores to fit it all in one segment yesterday. If you're looking for girls playoff basketball or wrestling news, you can click on Under Review from yesterday, Wednesday, March the 7th. Now today, we are all about boys playoff basketball in this segment as we have what might be an Under Review record for sets of highlights. Not one, not two, not three, not four, five sets of highlights for you featuring Middle Township, Wildwood Catholic, and Lower Cape May. So let's get things started with action from Group 2 South as number 8 Middle Township home against number 9 Barnegat in a first round game. First quarter, number 1 in white, A.J. Baez kicks it out for number 4 Cam Hamer for 3. It's good, but at the near end of the court, number 10 for Barnegat, his name is Carson Francisco. He drives the lane and scores. Beats the buzzer, too. The Bengals lead 13-10 after 1. Second quarter now, tied at 20. Number 0, Jalen Freeman drives and dishes out to number 23, Matt Marino for 3. You hear the sound of the horn as Middle Township takes the 3-point lead into the locker room, 23-20 at the half. Now, Middle appears to be pulling away in the second half. First off, it's number 11, Mac Selby, going coast to coast for 2. Panthers lead by 7. And later in the third quarter, Coley Holton with the block on one end and the finish at the near end. Holton on team-high 12 points. Middle leads by 8 after 3. But fourth quarter and Barnegat begins to rally. Number 3, Mike Ravello with the layup. The Bengals get to within 3. And later, it's Ravello again. This time he comes up with a loose ball. A spin-a-rama move at the far end puts Barnegat up by 2. 11 of his game-high 18 points come in the fourth quarter for number 3, Mike Ravello. 50-45, Bengals seal the win at the free throw line. Middle Township finishes the season at 13-12 overall. We'll continue our boys playoff basketball highlights with Wildwood Catholic in non-public South B, a quarterfinal action at home against Immaculata. Crusaders up 7 at the half. This is number 1, Jaleel White, as he grabs the rebound at one end and goes coast to coast for 2. White, a game-high 19 points for Wildwood Catholic. Later, defense turns to offense. Number 3, Caleb Fields with the steal. He quickly turns that into points at the near end. 15 points for Caleb Fields. The Crusaders lead by 10. And the free throw hero from the Cape Atlantic League Championship gets into the act. Number 2, Jacob Hopping drives baseline and scores. Wildwood Catholic leads 50-40 after 3. Leads by 10. 2 more highlights to show you then as a fourth quarter action now. Number 1, White zips one inside for number 23, Charles Fields. 14 points for Fields. Great pass right there by Jaleel White. 72-58 the final. Number 32, Taj Thweet, the fourth player to finish in double figures for the Crusaders in this one as he hits for 11 points in the game. Wildwood Catholic wins and improves to 26-2, and they advance to the semifinals against Trenton Catholic. Now, we'll get back to the Crusaders in just a minute, but first we continue our highlight tour with a stop in Irma. This is Medford Tech and Lower Cape May in the Group 2 South quarterfinals. First quarter, number 55, Kamar Matthews. Offensive rebound, kicks it out to number 3, Martin Engeloff for 3. Caper Tigers lead 7-zip early. Later in the first, can't play Lower Cape May and somehow lose containment on number 12, Pat Holden. Holden's 3 is up and good. Lower Cape May leads 18-8 after 1. However, they trail 29-28 at the half. Let's jump ahead to the third quarter. This time it's number 42, Aaron Cottrell to Engeloff for 3. 13 points for Martin Engeloff. But the real difference maker in this ballgame is Holden. Look at the nice bounce pass from Cottrell. Holden cuts to the basket, gets that, count the basket, plus the foul. Lower leads by 8, 50-42 after 3. And down the stretch in the fourth, it's Holden who leads his team to victory. 3 of his game-high 32 points. 72-61 the final. Lower Cape May wins. They improve to 20-8. They get to host number 9 Barnegat in the semis. Barnegat with the upset over Cinnaminson. Take a break from the video for a moment to pass along more quarterfinal scores as Wildwood goes down 74-64 to Paulsboro in Group 1 South. Kion Flanders, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Tyler Tomlin, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, while Will Long finishes with 11 points and 3 rebounds. Warriors end a solid season at 17-10 overall, and it's a milestone win for John Bruno at Ocean City in Group 3 South. The Red Raiders beat 3-time defending champ Winslow 59-54. That's win number 20 on the season. First time that the Ocean City boys have won 20 games in a season with John Bruno as the head coach. So congrats to him. Tom Jamison leads the way with 14 points. Donovan Graham 12. Red Raiders again, they're 20-7. They advance to beat Seneca in the semis. Speaking of semis, that's what we have here as we return to the highlights. Number 9, Barnegat. Number 5, Lower Cape May last Saturday. Bengals up 14-8 after 1. We'll pick things up in the second quarter. Number 3, Martin Angeloff chips away at that lead. Angeloff for 3, but Barnegat up by 5 at the half and 5 after 3 quarters of play. So we'll go to the fourth quarter, down by 4. It's Angeloff. Again, his jumper cuts the Barnegat lead to 2. The Bengals want a timeout. And then with time running out, Holden and number 55, Kamar Matthews, do their best Derek Wittenberg to Lorenzo Charles impression. You old folks will get that NC State championship reference from 83. Ties it up at 44, and the game is going to overtime. And in that extra frame, Angeloff and Holden are straight up money. 24 points for Angeloff, including 6 threes. 24 points for Pat Holden. 59-44 the final. Barnegat never even scores another point. The Caper Tigers win by 15 to advance to their first sectional final since 1988. They improved to 21-6. They get Haddonfield next. But before we get to those highlights, here's some more semifinal scores as the Magic runs out for Ocean City with a 59-52 loss to Seneca last Friday night. Give the Red Raiders some credit. They trail by 16 after 1, and they fight like heck to get back in. And Isaac Robertson, a team high 19 points. He's a senior. Junior Donovan Graham, 12 points, including a few key threes during the fourth quarter comeback attempt. The future is bright for the Red Raiders. They finished the season at 20-8. And the second quarter proves to be the difference for Wildwood Catholic in a 65-58 loss in the non-public B South semifinals to Trenton Catholic. Crusaders outscored 16-7 in that second quarter, and that gap is never closed. Wildwood Catholic a 17-11 run in the third quarter. They get as close as 5, but the Iron Mikes respond and put up 26 points of their own in the fourth quarter. Caleb Fields, 15 of his game-high 23 points in the final quarter, doing everything he could do. Jaleel White, 12. Taj Thweet, 10. Charles Fields, 10. Dave Deweese's team does finish the season meeting 2 of their 4 goals. They do win the United Division, and they capture the Cape Atlantic League boys crown, so they have that. Wildwood Catholic ends an outstanding season with a record of 20-3. And now we can go to the highlights of number 5 Lower Cape May, at number 2 Haddonfield for the South Jersey Group 2 Championship on Monday night. All Bulldogs early in this one. They play in Cherry Hill. Number 3 Mike DePersia launches the deep 3 and hits it 16-4 Haddonfield after 1. Second quarter action now. Pat Holden closely guarded outside by the arc, so he drives the lane and gets a count the basket. Plus the foul, Holden makes the three-point play the old-fashioned way, but Lower Cape May still trails 32-15 at the half. Caper Tigers do mount a rally in the third quarter. Number 55 is Kamar Matthews for 2, chipping away at that Bulldog lead. And later it's Holden, the number 20, Pat Moore for 3. Moore, Angeloff, and Matthews get LCM back as close as 12. But Haddonfield with an 11-2 answer, and that's pretty much the ballgame. Here are the final 3 points of Pat Holden's high school career. He finishes with a game-high 19, 63-45 the final. Holden ends an outstanding high school career with 2,103 points. Caper Tigers Cinderella run sadly is done. Still, what a season, though, for Scott Holden and the boys. They go 21-7. They make it all the way to the Group 2 South Championship game. A fantastic ride indeed. We've made it all the way to the end of a special Thursday edition here on Under Review. Before we go, don't forget to say hello to my colleague. That's Steph Sella. She's pictured with me at Burke Motor Group with Doug and Francie Burke. Steph shoots most of the highlights you see. She also edits the segment all together, so I always encourage people who watch, if they see Steph at their event, to go up and tell her you're watching Under Review and you appreciate it and appreciate what she does. Ocean City Girls, then, are pretty much our last local team left standing for winter sports. We'll have our next Under Review then next Wednesday, March the 14th. And we'll let you know how the Red Raiders did in the state Group 3 playoffs. They're already Group 3 South champs. We'll see how they do at the state level. Plus, we'll put a wrap on the winter sports season. Now, don't forget, if you have a story, idea, or suggestion, especially in those weeks where we take a couple weeks off before spring starts, email me at my email address at pthompson@cmcherald.com. That's my first initial and last name. That's THOMPSON at cmcherald.com. For faster scores and news, you can find us on Facebook by clicking like on the Cape May County Sports page, or we are on Twitter as well. Our Twitter handle is at CMC Herald Sports. Once again, Under Review brought to you by the fine folks at the Burke Motor Group. It's better at Burke. Hope to see you right back here then on our regular day. That's next Wednesday for our final Under Review segment for the winter sports season. In the meantime, I sincerely thank you for watching.